I dare you to disappear. Go away for 6 months. Leave your familiar surroundings, your familiar routine, block out all the drama and negativity, and just ghost. Make people say, where did he go? Where did she go? And then come back unrecognizable, new and improved. What I'm talking about is referred to today as ghost or monk mode. You see, a traditional monk chooses to leave their comfortable life to live in solitude, to connect with something deeper, something greater. You see, they have chosen to go into solitude because it is so difficult to connect to those deeper parts of us when we're still stuck in the circus of the world. And yes, we do live in a circus, a clown show, a world of distraction where everybody wants your attention. Fun fact, did you know it takes 23 minutes to regain focus after a distraction? It's no wonder why so many of us find it so hard to get things done today. Everybody wants to steal your attention. But have you ever wondered why? Why does everybody want your attention? Because attention is currency. And when you're focused inside, it is impossible to be sold or controlled because your power lies on the inside. The center of the hurricane is totally peaceful, and the center of you is total peace. But we have gotten so distracted that we believe that the noise is our natural state. A shocking study done by the University of Virginia gave participants 15 minutes of peace in a quiet room with no outside stimulation, but gave them the distraction of being able to administer a painful electric shock to themselves. Before the study, all the participants were given the sample shock so that they knew what to expect. And all said after receiving it, they would pay money not to be shocked again. Based on this study, 67% of men prefer to get zapped over being quiet. One man zapped himself 190 times over the course of 15 minutes. You could say the results came as a shock, but not really. Because French philosopher Blaise Pascal wrote all the way back in the 1600s that all of humanity's troubles stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. And yet there is so much evidence that suggests that success can only be achieved when you are alone, which is why the great psychologist Carl Jung said, "He who looks outside dreams, but he who looks inside awakens." Some of the most successful people in the world became that way because of solitude. You see, there's a rule of life that says people are rewarded in public for what they spent years doing in private. Beautiful photos are developed in what? The dark room. See, your problem is you've been spending so much time trying to be liked, trying to fit in, that you never spent that time alone in the dark room, which is where your power and beauty lies. You see, solitude is the main way to create success. Isaac Newton was known to retreat to his family's farm to make significant discoveries. The great Nikola Tesla would spend long periods of time in seclusion. Einstein's contribution to physics came from daydreaming and solitude. Solitude is necessary for success. Because when you're in the world and you're distracted by all the thieves of your attention, you never get the time, the bandwidth to tap into your gift. This is why Lincoln said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'm gonna spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." See, you need to spend time in solitude so that you can sharpen your own skills. When you need a life-saving surgery done, it's just you and the doctor. They don't let Instagram in, they don't let friends in, they all can wait outside. When you're in the operating room, it's just you and the doctor. And so if you want to operate on or save your life, it's gotta be done in solitude. Now, what is monk mode? Monk mode is when you take time away from your normal routine to focus on your growth. Some people recommend 6 months. I say if you can't do 6 months, then do 66 days. Why 66 days? Because studies show that it takes 18 to 254 days to rewire the neural pathways in our brain. It said the average time was 66 days to develop a new default response or habit. Now listen, you don't necessarily have to go to a mountain cave, but you do need to disappear and create your own cave so that you can start doing the inner work, the inner engineering to develop new habits. And so here's the monk mode protocol. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, what does the highest, most developed version of me look like? What do they think like? What is their level of emotional intelligence? What is their physical health? What is their mental health? You need to build a crystal clear image of what this version of you looks like and put it on paper, because if it's not on paper, it's vapor. Now, once you write it down, now you have your finish line, right? Your target, and you're already 10 steps ahead of what most people ever get to. Now, when you're on monk mode, you need to be focusing on recreational activities. No, I'm not talking about partying, smoking, or drinking. When I say recreational, I mean recreational. You are recreating the 3 pillars of your life: the mind, the body, and the spirit. You see, the triangle is the most stable geometric structure in the universe. And so if you want to stabilize your life, then you need to focus on the mind, the body, and the spirit triangle. So let's start with the mind. The first thing that you have to understand is that you are who you are because of what's gone into your mind. And you can change who you are by changing what's going into your mind. And so the first step in monk mode is to remove all of the junk that is going into your mind. And since most of us are not retreating to a mountain village, we have to remove all of the toxic distractions in our environment. I know, you say, Prince, all of it? I say, yes, all of it. Because imagine if I was baking brownies and I put the best ingredients in it. I put the pasture-raised eggs, the organic flour, the butter, but I put a little bit of dog poop into the batter. Would you eat it? Probably not. So the same thing happens with your mind. Do not allow any junk in it, not even a little bit. You don't want to be influenced by anything with a low vibration right now in monk mode. So you must protect and deflect all the crap from going into your mind. See, this is why Betty Eadie said, if we understood the power of our thoughts, we would guard them more closely. And that means friends especially. You see, anybody in your life that's a negative or neutral influence, you need to say no to them. This is a time for you to start standing on your own and growing into that person you were meant to be. You are now performing that inner surgery. So leave them in the waiting room. Tell them, hey, I'm not going to be accessible for a few weeks. I'm working on a big project. I want to let you know personally out of love so that you don't have any expectations for me. I know you want the best for me, so I know you understand. Once you have created those filters and wiped your hard drive clean of all the spam that's coming in, now we have to upgrade the operating system of our mind. I believe for most people watching this, CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, or as I like to call it, crushing bad thoughts. And it does just that. It reveals how we are making ourselves miserable with our thinking patterns, and it rewires and prevents us from doing that. Feeling Good, The New Mood Therapy by David Burns is the best book that I've ever read on mental health. I think it should be required reading for everybody on planet Earth. When you see the world through right thinking, everything gets better. You don't even suffer anymore. You see, pain is mandatory, but suffering is a choice. Suffering is optional. Okay, so now that you've updated your operating system, now you have to replace the programs, the software, with the good, the clean, the pure, the powerful, and the positive. In other words, we will replace the noise with the signal. And that means asking yourself, what does the highest, most developed version of myself read every day? Now, you don't want any book. You want books written by true experts. Read one book every month in that area, and within 5 years, you will be in the top 5% of experts in the world. So just start by making a list of the top 3 books in the passion area that you want to be an expert in. This is absolutely what I did. When I wasn't in the best circumstances in my life, I knew that if I only upgraded my information, then I would upgrade my life. So the next step in monk mode to focus on is the body. How can you be truly successful if you don't like the body that you're in? Your body is designed to move. It's not you, but it's your vehicle. But how you view yourself 9 times out of 10 manifests as how your body looks. And if you don't like what you see, change it. How do you change it? With nutrition and exercise. You see, nutrition is queen, exercise is king, and if you put them together, then you have a kingdom. And here's how to build your kingdom. Number 1, you need a goal, and be specific. I want you to get a clear photo of the ideal physique that you want to have. Now remember, you're not the body, but it is your vehicle, and you can shape it, you can change it in whichever way you want. I want you to keep that picture in places that you will see every day. Put it in your bedroom, in your bathroom, put it on your refrigerator, put it as the home screen in your phone, put it on the wall in your gym. Just make sure you are seeing that photo regularly throughout the day. You see, once your mind has a clear image, it will begin to work hard to manifest that into a physical reality. During monk mode, you must treat your body like a temple. Would you bring alcohol into a temple? No. Would you bring McDonald's soda into a temple? No. Would you bring drugs into a temple? No. Well, stop bringing that into the temple of your body. During this period, we are going to focus on 3 basic but powerful nutrition principles. Number 1, eat real whole foods. You are only going to put natural, unprocessed food into your body. No chips, no soda, no packaged food. See, you're in monk mode, so get rid of all the tempting food out of your house, or just put it deep into the basement. A way that I remember what to eat is G-bombs plus wild caught fish. Now, what is G-bombs? Dark leafy greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds, plus the wild caught fish. G-bombs is the best anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, health promoting foods on the planet. Number 2, hydration. I want you to hydrate with spring water and electrolytes. Most people are chronically dehydrated. You should drink between 0.5 and 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 156 pounds, you should be getting 78 to 156 ounces of water per day. Carry around a bottle of water with you all day. Here's mine. This I found is the only way that I can remember to drink water. Another way is you can put bottles in your car, bottles basically at your office, just so you see a trigger and it makes you want to drink more water. This is the only way that I found that keeps me honest. Number 3, supplements. Billions of people on the planet, maybe you, are deficient in these big 4 supplements: vitamin D, vitamin K2, magnesium, and zinc. Taking these supplements will greatly improve your well-being, your clarity, your happiness, your joy for life. Take the RDA, or recommended daily allowance, on the bottle. When it comes to movement and exercise, you're going to, number 1, walk 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. Bonus points if you walk some of those steps barefoot. Walking is the king of all exercises. It is the only exercise proven to reverse heart disease, and it lowers the risk of all cancers. Walking also raises your serotonin levels and fights depression in a way greater than taking an antidepressant drug. Use meals as a trigger for walking. So after every meal, make sure you walk at least 10 minutes. Longer, the better. Number 2, exercise. You're gonna exercise for 1 hour, 3 to 5 times a week. What type of exercise? Well, the type that you love to do. For me, it's weight training, it's resistance training, because resistance training not only is a great form of exercise and improves your cardiovascular health, it also shapes your body. So you're gonna start liking what you see in the mirror more. And that confidence is gonna apply to all areas of your life. When it comes to mental health, weight training, the stress, the resistance that you use when you lift up the weights is gonna build resistance in life. So when you go up against a stressful situation, your body has already adapted to it. And so you'll be able to transcend that stress much easier if you're training. Number 3, keep a journal or a record of everything you do in the gym. I have been going to the gym for over a decade, and I found the difference between the people who make progress and the people who don't is the people who make progress, they journal, they write it down, right? They track progress. You got to track it to crack it. Everybody else is just they don't have a plan. But when you have a plan, you're going to meet your goals much faster than those that don't. You see, when you journal, you take advantage of the most powerful principle of training, progressive overload, which basically means you lift more weight or more repetition the next time you go to the gym. This is how you improve. The next pillar in monk mode is spiritual growth. Now, whatever spiritual or religious tradition you connect to, it could be Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, Taoism, Buddhism, Hinduism, whatever it is, whatever you connect to, you need to be watching a sermon, listening to a satsang, reading some type of spiritual text for 1 hour every day. Because you see, spirituality allows for the deepest, most powerful grounding in life. The book that Steve Jobs made sure that everybody who attended his funeral received was not a business book. It was not a personal growth book. It was not a corporation or stocks or bonds. It wasn't any of that. It was a book called The Autobiography of a Yogi. It was a spiritual book that he read every year of his life. You see, in life, you don't just want to be materially successful. You also want to be spiritually successful. Because trust me, there is no material experience in this world that can come close to touching your true spiritual nature. As the old saying goes, what use is gaining the world if you lose your soul? So in addition to the 1 hour of filling your mind with the pure satsangs and the sermons, you should also be practicing for 1 minute to an hour, a meditation practice or an awareness practice. Now, what is awareness practice? It is simply to observe your thoughts coming and going. So find a quiet place and just sit and observe your thoughts coming and going. Don't try to change them. Don't try to judge them. If you find yourself getting caught into them, just bring yourself back gently, non-judgmentally back to your breath. You see, in only 1 week of doing this, you will find so much peace and control over the things that happen in your life. You will no longer be reactive. You will be responsive. Things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore because you have come to a presence, a state of peace and solidity. True spirituality is meant to be taken off of the yoga mat, out of the meditation room, and into the real world. So one practice that I want you to do is so simple but so powerful. It is to simply take one conscious breath every day. So no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, just take one breath that you are aware of your breath coming in and coming out. That's all. That single practice can have atomic effects on your stillness, on your joy, and on your gratitude in life. The final awareness practice that you can integrate in monk mode is something that I know I used to do as a kid, and many people still do today. Many people don't do it anymore, but it's simply prayer or gratitude before you eat your meal. So before you eat every meal, simply bring yourself to this moment and give gratitude to the meal itself. So thank the farmer, thank the animals, thank the plants, thank the soil. If you're at a restaurant, thank the chef, thank the waiter. Just bring gratitude to that moment, and I guarantee your meal will be 10 times better. Okay, so to recap the monk mode protocol, we started with the mind. So we wanna remove all the junk, the distractions, the toxic friends, get that out, right? Wipe the system clean. Number 2, we want to upgrade our operating system with cognitive behavioral therapy, or as I call it, crushing bad thoughts. And number 3, we install new programs, new software. We read books by experts on subjects we are passionate about that will help us become our highest, best, most developed version of ourselves. Now we talked about nutrition. We want to eat real foods, the G-bombs, the dark leafy greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds, plus a little bit of wild-caught fish. We also want to hydrate with electrolytes, and we want to supplement with vitamin D, vitamin K2, magnesium, and zinc. Now when it comes to our body, we are walking 8,000 to 10,000 steps every day. Bonus points if you walk a few of those steps barefoot. Next, we're gonna exercise 1 hour, 3 to 5 times per week. I recommend strength training so that you can shape your body into your ideal physique. And finally, we're gonna keep a journal, right? The difference between those people who achieve their goals and don't achieve their goals is the journal. The next pillar was spirit, right? So every day for 1 hour, we're going to listen to a sermon or a satsang on something that really connects with us on a spiritual level. The next thing we're gonna do is focus on our awareness or our meditation practice. So we're gonna sit quietly, just observing our thoughts coming and going. Very simple. If we get caught in the trap of our thoughts, we just non-judgmentally bring our attention right back to this moment, right back to our breath. And finally, we're going to implement in the world awareness practices, right? We're going to take one conscious breath every day. And we're also going to give gratitude for our meal every time we eat. So guys, that is the monk mode protocol in a nutshell. Now, if you want to take things to the next level and live the life that you truly deserve, then join my identity engineering bootcamp. Now, it's not for everybody. But if you really want to take your life to that next level and become the highest, best, most developed version of yourself and get personal coaching from me, click the link in the description box below. I'll see you there. Peace.